don't ride for nobody, no badge, no crew. Truth don't play favors, it just come through. I don't take sides, I take time and review. Slow to put it, let the context break through. If you clean, that stamp stay true.
A woman who was complaining about getting pulled over for a hit and run is now also going to complain about her getting a ticket for, well, you're going to find out it's not a ticketable offense, but she's thrown a fit because of it. And when you see it, I think for the most part, people might think that we're exaggerating on certain things when we do stuff on this channel. We're not. We're really not. And this is one of those cases I have to preface it because you're not going to believe what you're seeing, but you might. I couldn't, but you might. So let's see how exactly, if her reaction that you see in this face on screen here is warranted. Okay. All right. Let's listen.
And she has anxiety.
Okay. Your sister?
Yeah.
Okay.
What's your? Okay. It's my best friend.
I know.
Bleeding out of her head, like, and then just usually make sure she was still alive. She was still breathing intensely, just trying to stay alive. Like, so it wasn't great.
I'm gonna need you to stay, sir.
Okay. What's that?
He's gotta stay. She's gonna die. She's going out.
I'm hoping that I'm right about one thing in my head. Let's find out. I'll tell you when it comes up.
9911, what is the address of your emergency?
The girl just got ran over by a car.
Okay, so you said it's a female and she was hit by a vehicle?
Yes.
When, on the night of March 26, 2017, Cincinnati police responded to reports of a car crash with an unresponsive victim, they would unknowingly become part of a murder investigation. The victim, 18-year-old Maddie Hart, was found in the middle of the road, unresponsive and covered in injuries. She was rushed to the hospital. Witnesses and friends who were at the scene reported that a fight had broken out, which quickly escalated when one individual began using their car as a deadly weapon.
There we go. All right, cool. I'm glad. I told you co-watching this. I'm just watching the initial parts. I am glad that the person on the screen ain't the driver. That's good to know. Let's continue.
Ladies, do you know her? What happened?
I don't listen. These girls pulled up to fight and hop on all this.
Calm down. I would really wish I could hear exactly what you're saying.
I hear you.
Let me talk to you. They ran her over.
Okay.
And
You know those girls?
Yes. I know all their names. I can find out their address. They ran her over. Let me
Who
talk
was driving
to
the
you.
car?
No, it's okay. Relax. Have you seen your best friend ran over?
Best friend's killed, okay? You need to calm down.
Trying to piece everything together, detectives interviewed additional witnesses who described a similar sequence of events. Strangely, however, although all witnesses mentioned the fight and the eventual car crash, some also claimed that gunshots were involved.
This looked like one of them cases where ain't everybody being forthcoming, maybe because of where it started off. I'm going to go and make no predictions on this one. I'm going to, for the first time, I'm going to hold judgment back until I hear. Amazing, ain't? Yeah, you see, you live, you learn, you grow. And that's my job, is to grow. It's 2026. Get older.
Adding yet another layer to an already complex situation.
She got a shot though. It looks like they shot her. She had a bullet wound right here. I saw it.
Okay. Hey, look, if it's one thing, they snitch. So that's one thing they do. They snitch now. You know who they are talking about. Don't act like y'all don't know.
Left rib cage.
So you think she was shot? Or you're not sure?
I saw a bullet wound right here, man. Seriously, her head was right there, her body was right there, it was on the left side of her, underneath her rib cage.
Although the perpetrator had long fled the scene, driving off immediately after hitting the victim, officers already knew who to look for. Friends of the victim not only knew who was involved in the fight, but also where they lived.
Yeah. See if you got friends. My mama used to tell me all the time. My mama had a statement that she used to make to me all the time, and I now see the value of that statement. She used to say to me, friends will take you, but they ain't going to bring you back. Friends going to take you, but they ain't going to bring you back. And at the time, it didn't make a whole lot of sense. What do you mean by that? Like, well, they'll take you places, or what happened at the place, that they'll most likely be the first ones to. Okay.
Interestingly, before law enforcement began looking into possible suspects, the perpetrator, 20-year-old Brianna Benson, turned herself in after initially fleeing the scene. Approximately 6 hours after the hit-and-run crash, she was questioned at the Cincinnati Police Department.
Do you have your driver's license with you?
No, but they're not expired. I can give you everything. I have insurance and everything.
And you were in the car also?
Yeah, she was on.
Do you have your driver's license with you?
She don't have a license, but she has the ID. But my license is not expired.
Okay, so got to make sure I get this in my head right, because if I don't, I'll sound crazy. You drove to the police station, both y'all. Now one of y'all have your license with to a police station. Woo! Bruh. Some things in life you can't make up. You can't. I'm sorry. Look, you could have told me, but I wouldn't believe you. Wouldn't believe you.
Okay.
And what does this exactly mean for me? Like, do you know it all?
Well, you're in the car, right?
But would I be in any trouble? Like if I didn't do anything?
No. I'm just trying to corroborate everybody else's story. All right. I just need you to come back here and wait for, I think they said one of the investigators may be back here. They want to talk to you. I'll be with you in a minute. Can you have a...
Now, do y'all believe that she don't know what happened to the person? I'm going to go on, I said I wasn't going to predict, but I'm going to go on a limb, just a small one, and say she already know what exactly happened because of the intent. Acting like nothing happened is cover. That's just what I'm thinking. Judging by the behavior.
I am telling the truth. It's nothing left now.
At the time of this interrogation, the exact condition of 18-year-old Maddie Hart was still unknown. She was still battling the severe injuries sustained from the crash at the hospital, tragically passing away 4 days later.
Oh, God damn it. You said your license is valid?
Yes, and I have insurance.
Through who?
My insurance?
Mm-hmm.
It's still my mom, so I...
Nissan Sentra.
Yes.
Or
Yeah, you take pictures of the fingerprints.
no, not yet.
Oh, but did you see
No.
them?
I saw a bunch of
Like on the right side?
back by the back door.
Yes.
Yeah, I saw that. What were you doing downtown tonight?
My sister Maya's phone called me. So I answered it, and her friend, she had called me from my sister's phone, like, you need to get here now. Your sister's getting jumped.
And where were you at the time?
I was at Jasmine's house. So I come there, go downtown.
Strangely, Brianna Benson did not go into much detail about what happened when she arrived at Plum Street to pick up her younger sister.
If life lesson, if your friends call you and say your friend is getting jumped, here's what a good word of advice would be. Say, all right, cool, on my way, on your way, call the popo. No, for real, call him. Call the popo. Had the popo meet you there same time. It's an amazing thing. It's weird, but you have a phone. You were just on it. Friend called you. He getting jumped. Bet. Hey, Po, I'm heading down here. My friend's getting jumped. I'm going to meet you there so that nothing happens to my friend. Thank you, 911. Blam. You head to your spot. Do what you got to do. See, you ain't got to fight nobody. You ain't got to get shot. You can just let the cop deal with the cop stuff. You're welcome. Saved you some effort and maybe quite possibly a ticket and jail and death. Overall, I think it's good advice.
Simply saying they were planning to head back home. This becomes even more unusual as Brianna showed up because earlier her younger sister Maya had been involved in a fight with another group, a group that included the victim, Maddie Hart. Witness statements and court documents revealed that most parties knew the fight was far from over and that it was just about to begin.
Huh.
I circled, if you look on the video I'm posting, I circled around like 3 times looking for her. So I finally find her. And
Find Maya.
Maya's friends in Maya's driver's seat and Maya's in the passenger. Now I'm freaking out because she's not on our insurance. I'm like, Maya, why are you letting your friends drive your car and you're drunk? So by that
That's probably why she's letting her friend drive her car, because unless the friend's drunk. Because I'm trying to figure out how your statement's say. Okay.
now I'm freaking out because she's not on our insurance. I'm like, Maya, why are you letting your friends drive your car and you're drunk?
Okay, so you're drunk, so not the friend. Okay, that's probably why her friend's driving, because Maya's drunk. Unless you want Maya to be driving drunk, which makes no sense to me, but hey.
So by that time, I got mad, parked my car, cut my car off, got in her car, and I made them get in the back, and me and Jasmine hopped in the car. We were going to drop everybody off. During that time, I hit a bed. I guess I ran into the girls.
Brianna Benson describes the interaction with the other group in a coincidental tone, as if they were stopped on their way and not actively looking for them. Several CCTV recordings, however, proved otherwise, showing that she intentionally parked her car while seeking direct engagement with the other group.
I know one of them was Anna for sure, because I know that is my sister's best friend. And it was Anna's sister, and I don't know the other girl. That's the girl that got hit doing this. So during that time, I'm at the bend, and when I hit the bend, Anna opens up the back door, Maya's back door, not my back door at the time. Opens up Maya's back door, and they're fighting. And so I get out the car because she dragged Maya out the car. They're fighting all that. So by that time, I'm trying to break it up, but I get hit in the mix, so I start fighting. I'm not gonna lie.
Security camera footage shows that the fight broke out at 2:55 a.m. And contrary to Brianna's version of events, several recordings proved that she not only confronted the group instead of simply driving away, but she was also a leading force in the fight.
I keep saying this to people, but they don't listen. Cameras are everywhere. Y'all go ahead, man. Look, y'all go ahead and be silly. Go ahead. Be stupid, be dumb, be whatever y'all want. But in all of that activity, don't act like you don't think you're going to get seen by something somewhere. Big Brother is everywhere. Somebody got a phone. I think I've watched enough TV since the advent of this Big Brother concept to realize that you can triangulate anybody anywhere with enough cameras and access to them. You got stoplight cameras, right? The one above by the stop signs, okay? You got street light cameras, okay? You got building cameras. You got cell phone. You got dash cams. Cameras are everywhere. You can't do nothing and get away today. You're going to get found.
She played an active role, directly fighting with the victim, at one point dragging her by the hair and stomping on her face.
See? Phones. Phones are a bad mamma jamma, bro. Them phones gonna get y'all killed. Like it'll get you killed. All right.
In the grand scheme of things, this suggested possible motives, such as revenge for the later escalation that caused the death of Maddie Hart. Just over a minute later, at 2:57 a.m., the fight slowly ended. Before Brianna's group got back into the car and drove off, one of her friends picked up items from the ground that had fallen during the fight. One of those items, unknowingly, was Maddie Hart's car keys.
Oh.
Investigators later learned that this small but significant detail was most likely directly linked to the second altercation that ultimately led to the victim's death.
I've never been a fan of the club scenes. It's too loud, too ruckus. You can't hear people talk. Even small bars I didn't like to go to. Like music, especially if it's smaller, I don't like that. I don't like the volume, man. I don't mind me jamming in my car once in a while, but a constant barrage of music and people talking. Can't do it. Can't do it. And I think that's been my saving grace, is the fact that I don't have the patience for that kind of environment. But there are people that do. They like it. The other problem with that environment, it brings drunk people, and drunk people don't think. Drunk people don't, especially if you can't think before you're drunk, then you get drunk, then you really can't think. That sounds like this whole crew. All of them sound like they never used their brains before, and then they introduced alcohol to it, and they definitely lost what little bit they had left, all gone.
So I pull off, we leave, and I get them there, and now I'm having a panic attack because I don't even know if I fought a minor or not, but then Maya lets me know nobody's a minor, everybody's above age. So that time I get in my car now
With?
Jasmine.
Okay.
I pull off. I don't even know what street I was on. I guess Plum Street, because that's where my car was at. Somehow I end up on the same street as them.
Somehow.
9 minutes after the initial fight, Brianna Benson had dropped everyone off except her cousin Jasmine and was driving back home. Instead of returning to Northside, however, Brianna took another route and coincidentally drove back onto 7th Street.
I like how he phrased that. I like how he phrased it. She just happened to. I wasn't planning on it. I was going to go home. But the scene was so cool there. I saw something on the wall I had to go check. I had to make sure the street that I was on, so I got to go back to Plum Street. You just happened to, coincidentally.
The very scene where the fight had taken place minutes earlier. According to Brianna, she was unfamiliar with the area and ended up there by accident.
And when I'm going down the street, the girl's running from my car, so I'm going down the street, and I get caught at the light. So there's a car coming, and I wait on that car, and I hit the right, but by the time I hit the right, the girl's already right there. So she's in front of my car, so I hit reverse. So now she's on the side of my car. But I'm parked in an angle a little bit, how I'm reversed. So when I hit reverse, it slid a little bit because I'm on a one-way street. So when I hit reverse, the car.
Now she ran over that girl. Look, that's the underside of the car. I don't know cars that well, but I can tell the underside of a car when I see it. You don't find them screws on the top, do you? No, that's the underside. That looked like clothing. Okay.
I slid a little bit, I guess. I don't know if her leg got caught. I just heard a noise. I'm like, cousin, I think I hit her. She I don't know. I'm like, what should I do? I didn't know. So I went straight to my mom's house, and I came straight here.
As she drove up 7th Street into Walnut Street, another altercation began when Maddie Hart saw them driving by. It is theorized that Maddie believed the driver, Brianna, or one of the passengers had stolen her keys. As a result, she was the only one from the group who approached the vehicle, banging on the windshield, which witnesses mistakenly interpreted as gunshots, before eventually being run over, her body dragged under the car for 88 feet.
Damn. Remember I told you about them dash cams? Cameras are everywhere. Everywhere. And remember I told you people don't have sense before and being drunk give you less sense? Maddie fit one of those bills.
What you doing here?
I don't know. I heard a noise. I'm not gonna sit here and lie like I didn't hear a noise. I did.
And we saw that you intentionally drove towards her to get her. So your story doesn't make no sense. Cameras.
So why did you just
pull over? Because there was other girls coming towards my car, and I know that it was mass of them. There was a lot of them, so I didn't know what was going on. And I saw something, when she was banging on the thing, I saw something black in her hand. So I didn't know, what that was for. It could have been a gun or anything, and I just know that they were just shooting and everything, because I don't go out. And you'll see her running towards my car,
cell phone,
her being in front of my car, her banging on my window and everything. And my thing is, why is she even in the middle of the street banging on my window? You shouldn't even be close to my car or anything. This is a moving vehicle. And I tried to stay at the stop sign, at the light. But
were you fighting her?
I don't even know who I fight. I'm not even.
That was a yes. That pause is yes. That that deep swallow. That's yes. That is, I know exactly who I was fighting. I know who I was fighting. I can't admit to you that I was fighting them because they get hit. And it looked like I was going for them and I turned back by purpose, but that was accidental. And of course, Maddie, being as drunk as she was and stupid as she was at the time, going out in the street to bang on a car. Again, I tell you, alcohol and slow don't mix. Okay.
I'm gonna lie, because there's so many people that I really don't even know who I for real fought. Like, I went straight to my mom's, let her know what happened, came down here. It's not like I lied, that I was trying to run or anything.
But once you got out of the downtown area, I mean, you're headed over to kind of stop right there, that you're safe, and then call. Or
No, I was calling her.
No, like call us. So, hey, I think I was involved in an accident. I was getting chased down by people downtown.
I was just in so much of a
XYZ.
panic attack.
Now, remember, too, she said she's not familiar with the area. Please remember this. She ain't familiar with the area, but she can leave the area and find her way to her mom's. She can't find her way home, but she can find her way to her mom's. That's kind of weird. It's kind of weird. That kind of suggests that you actually kind of know the area.
I just wanted to call my mom and get to my mom and have her bring me to the district.
Throughout the interrogation, Brianna maintained that she had a panic attack when Maddie approached the car, claiming she thought Maddie might have a weapon, causing her to reverse the vehicle to get away from the situation and then speed off, accidentally running Maddie over in the process. Several experts later concluded that during the reverse, the tires turned to the side, indicating that Brianna had aimed the car towards the victim.
So we watched the video.
Right. And that's what I said. She was banging on the side.
Banging on the side.
And somehow, I don't know how she got under it. She was under there.
Okay. It looked to me in the video that you backed the car up and that you almost positioned it aiming towards her.
No,
of course not. No.
There has to be another video on that street because
Of course.
if you look, she was in my way.
Yeah.
It's just like she was drunk. Like it was like I saw like a demon or something come out the girl. They let these little young girls drink. They're not even allowed to drink.
I agree.
Given the sequence of events, the initial fight, Brianna being the main aggressor who dragged and stomped on the victim, and the unusual route she took while supposedly driving back home, investigators concluded they were most likely dealing with more than just an accident.
Now I can see if I pulled up on the sidewalk, but she was actually in the middle of the street. Like, why would you even run up to my car, put your hands on my car or anything? And you don't do that when the car is moving. You just don't do that. Anything can happen.
Anything.
That's why when it says crosswalk and it says stop, that means stop because you might get hit. Hey, is my car like an impound? Like, do I have to pay on it while it's taken, or just like?
We just have it for now.
Yeah, for investigation. I just want to make sure I didn't have to pay no ticket.
No, your fees should only accrue once they tell you that you can have the car and you don't go pick it up. Then it starts to accrue fees.
That's fine.
Following the interrogation, detectives decided that since Brianna Benson had turned herself in and was cooperating with the investigation, she was, for the moment, free to go home.
There you go.
Day 2 in the murder trial of Brianna Benson. Police say Benson ran over Maddie Hart outside the Aronoff Center last March. Not on your sides, TJ Parker joins us live with new video showing the moments leading up to Hart's death.
Yeah,
TJ.
see those.
Yeah, Kristen, this portion of the trial just wrapped up in the past hour or so.
During the court trial in March 2018, Brianna Benson was charged with murder, felonious assault, and hit and run involving serious injury or death.
Pretty major. That's pretty stinking major. That ain't no small thing. That's carrying time. Not just regular time.
The murder charge was based on the prosecution's claim that Brianna knowingly struck the victim, the question of intent being one of the main elements of the trial. The defense argued that Brianna was scared and overwhelmed by the situation, having just been in a fight earlier and simply trying to get away, which they claimed became impossible when the victim approached the vehicle and stood in the way. They further highlighted that the circumstances made the situation even worse, claiming that Brianna was disoriented, panicking, and not thinking clearly after being punched during the initial fight. Their goal was to achieve a verdict that emphasized a lack of intent to kill, therefore getting rid of the murder charge.
Vehicular homicide, maybe, might be dropped too. I could see that one, maybe vehicular homicide.
The prosecution, however, had much more evidence to work with and focused less on Brianna's emotional state. Several witnesses and experts examined testimonies and surveillance video, which, when combined, presented a very different version of events.
Cameras! There was a video back, I'm going to date myself a little bit here. Just a little bit. I'm going to age myself. When I used to watch TV as a kid, we grew up with things like Super Grand. We grew up with Are You Being Served? We grew up with Archie Bunker. But there was one that was really, really funny, and it was Candid Camera. Y'all remember Candid Camera? Where they would pull pranks on people and the camera would be off, away from the scene, but it would be picking up everything. Understand, while that might have been prank time way back in the 90s and late 80s, today, Candid Camera is everywhere. Multiple angles. There's no longer just one thing being seen. You're seeing the same thing from 50 different angles now. You could pretty much create the Matrix and she did the whole 360. That is now real life. Everybody got a 360 view of what you're doing, especially if it's stupid. It's going to attract attention. Life lesson. Don't do stupid stuff, man. Come on, man.
They concluded that Brianna acted out of anger and directly provoked the second confrontation by driving back to the group. Most importantly, the unusual maneuver of the car suggested that she intentionally steered toward the victim, dragging her body 88 feet and accelerating away, behavior that pointed to a clear consciousness of guilt.
This whole entire thing really just makes me physically ill. I have this hole in my heart that is going to be there for the rest of my life. And for what?
But now every holiday will be different.
Again, people, if you say you care about your family members, do not encourage them to do dumb shit. Drinking might be fun while you might be thinking about it. But in these situations, they never lead to anything good ever. Why do it? Why? Why? What's the purpose outside of just losing your memory cells for a bit and then forgetting the night? Moments of fun, but then stuff like this happens to you. Not worth it.
We didn't lose somebody to a disease, to cancer. We lost somebody to an accident that my wife said should never have happened. This should never happen.
In the end, the jury found Brianna Benson guilty of murder, concluding that the crash was not a panic-induced incident. She was sentenced to 18 years to life in prison.
Damn! $18 to life.
And is currently held at Dayton Correctional Institution.
Listen, people, I understand that life can be fun sometimes with alcohol involved. I've been there, did that. Not in the club scene, but I've had my share of being, life ain't going my way, and I thought the best answer was alcohol. It's not. It's not the best answer. It delays your cognitive function. It makes you do stuff that, yeah, you may not normally do, but because you may not normally do it, it's probably not doing it because you're gonna hurt yourself and somebody else. Drunk driving isn't just for people, the drunk driver, it's for everybody else around the drunk driver. Anger mixed with alcohol isn't just to try and keep you safe, it's to keep other people safe. And in this case, it was to do all of it. The gal might be still around if she wasn't drinking and acting a fool. Rihanna might still be around if she wasn't going out there to act a fool. The people around everybody might not have been in that situation had they not been drinking and acting a fool. And the cop's right when he told you should just call the cops. It would have been an easy open and shut case. People would still be alive, but at least at minimum, people would have been charged for fighting, assault, whatever it was, but they'd be alive and you wouldn't be in jail for life. This may not change anybody's mind. Y'all might just like partying, like the drinking, like the drugs, whatever it is. If that's you, that's you, okay? But here's the thing. Every action, reaction. So if this happens and you action and the reaction is this, you can't get mad because you said you liked it. This was what you wanted. Because if you sign up for the action, you can't then get to say the end result is not what you signed up for. You should have weighed the end result on multiple levels before you did the action. It's vital that you use them noggins up there. And remember, cameras everywhere. We'd like to hear what your thoughts are on this one. Please leave them in the comment section below.
One wrong move turn the present into the past. I don't ride for nobody, no badge, no crew. Truth don't play favorites, it just come through. I don't take sides, I take time and review. So to put it, let the context break through. If you clean, that stamp stay true. If you foul, that show up too. No miss, no spin, no cover up hype. Everything judge in plain sight.